Hi everyone, and welcome to the Spirituality Show, a show dedicated to opening minds and expanding lives. Welcome to tonight's presentation, Making the Connection with Victoria Cochrane. My name's Sarah Watkins. I'm your host for this evening. I'm a mother of three, owner of Spiritual Events and Directory, the #1 spiritual directory in Australia, founder of Pop-Up Psychics and Healers, which is an online bookings platform for psychics and healers, and TV host and producer of the Spirituality Show. Okay, so tonight we have a sponsor that's sponsoring this webinar. It's Business Academy for Practitioners, and I'm just going to play a short 3-minute video just to explain exactly what that business is about. If I can get that to play. This is all new to me. Hang on 2 seconds. New share.
Welcome. My name is Kelly Bisqueen, and I'm the founder and creator of the Business Academy for Women Practitioners. I created 13 chapters. I then got 13 chakra systems and then brought the two together so that the wellness practitioner could have clear, focused understanding for them to step into their power so that they can be the best practitioner that they can possibly be.
There is no limits, there is no stopping. It continues and continues and continues, allowing that love to penetrate everywhere, everything that you have inside of you. Going through the chakras and actually feeling it as well, it's like you're anchoring it in. So I'm really getting a sense that I'm capable of this, I can actually really do this. So you're actually helping me to manifest my potential in my business. Today's all about owning it.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, no, sorry, thank you.
No, say what you're thinking.
I feel fantastic.
So now you have the foundation for your business.
Yeah.
Okay? So what comes after that foundation? You have clarity. You have direction.
Yes.
And now you have those two things. You can then focus.
It's just everything you need, and it's the foundation you need to set up a successful practitioner business.
It just changed everything energetically and vibrationally across our business. And what that has done for us is just opened up a whole world of possibilities, excitement, a level of fear, but we're stepping into that.
To be able to reframe what my bio is has allowed me to step into a place where beyond my suburb is available. Australia is tangible, and global is right there for me to take.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I can't get it back. Hang on. Oh, this is technology live. We're live. Hang on, I might have to stop sharing. There we go. Alrighty. So tonight we have Victoria Cochrane presenting. Victoria is the Tasmanian Psychic Expo's 2019 Tasmanian Psychic of the Year. She's a certified member of the IPA and Australian Reiki Connection, a trained Advanced Theta Healer practitioner, Usui Reiki Master, and author of 3 books. Victoria uses her psychic clairvoyance, mediumship, and channeling abilities to help people to lift their past trauma and limiting belief systems to heal aspects of their lives in order to move forward. She also tutors people to assist them to step into their own spiritual path and to connect to their guides. Victoria writes a monthly newsletter and posts regular messages from the Masters on her channeling blog. Tonight's presentation, Victoria will spend the next 75 minutes coaching you on the different planes and dimensions of the ethereal world with invaluable tips on how and who to connect to. Victoria will teach simple meditation and connection techniques to ensure you are connecting to your guides in the highest vibration and with the best protection. In the last 45 minutes, Victoria will answer questions from participants, give brief insight into their problems and queries. So if you've got any questions, just pop them under the video. Alrighty, and now I'll introduce you to Victoria. Okay. Thanks so much for joining us, Victoria. I'll just make sure that you're the one who's actually highlighted and not me.
Okay. You're welcome, Sarah. It's great to be here.
Cancel. That's you. Is it definitely on Victoria? Nope, it's still on me. Hang on. Sorry. Cancel. And spotlight.
Spotlight.
Spotlight. And I'll just. It's still on us. All right. I don't know why this spotlighting is not working tonight, but that's okay. I can. Oh, there we are. It's on you now. Okay. Bye bye. I'll be here if you need me.
Okay. Thank you. I still can't. I can see you, but am I up there? All right.
Yeah. Okay. It's on you, doll.
Okay, fantastic. Well, welcome everybody to, there I am. Welcome everybody to Making the Connection with Victoria Cochrane, which is me. If you are, thank you, that's great. It's great to have you all joining in. My name is Victoria Cochrane. I have been aware of my psychic and psychic abilities for about nearly 11 years. Before that, I really had not much idea, well, no idea really. And so it all began when I smelt my grandfather, who died of emphysema 25 or 30 years previously, around me in cigarette smoke. And it took a while to actually connect to him, and he actually taught me how to channel. So I am a psychic channel. I write a lot of channelings, and I work for the ascension of the planet and helping with earth healing and helping people through my training in theta healing and advanced theta healing to lift their negative belief systems and past life trauma in order to step forward in their life or onto their own spiritual path. And that's what we really need, is for everybody to awaken, and there are a lot of people awakening now, so that we can lift this planet out of the trouble that it's in. So I have channeled 3 books. The first one is called Raising the Energies of Mother Earth Towards and After Ascension 2012, longest title in history, and I channeled that one in 2012, 2013, and on the cover is the meditation we saw when Mother Earth ascended, and that was drawn by a friend of mine who was in the same meditation. So it's pretty powerful. And then this second one, Renee drew the front cover too, trying not to get it to shine so much, Beyond Ascension 2012, Universal Truths, and then this one, the third one in 2015, which is the alignment of the universe, which I did see happen on the 12th of the 12th, 2012, messages from other worlds. They all talk about oneness. They all talk about the Christed consciousness and how we are all one, not separate. And the more people know this, the more tolerant the human race will become. And so connection to our guides and to the Creator is really important. But there are ways of connecting and ways that are really draining. So tonight, if you are on your path and you're meditating and connecting to guides. I do hope that this will be helpful for you, because there are lots of different dimensions of consciousness and lots of dimensions of spirit world. And if we access the wrong dimensions, we can get ourselves into quite a bit of trouble. And so this is hopefully going to be very helpful. So to access higher dimensions, we need to have a higher consciousness or a higher vibration. And there are lots of different ways to do that. But I'd like to talk first about the planes of existence. So some people talk about dimensions of existence, but I prefer to talk in the theta healing terms from Vianna Stibel about the planes, because there are many different levels and dimensions within each plane. And so a dimension is a vibration of consciousness. So we live within all planes of existence all at the same time, and I will explain the planes in a moment. But we also live in different dimensions. So the main ones that we talk about are 3D, or third dimension, which is life on earth, and it's about doing for self. It's politicians, media, greed, corruption, ego, money, physical existence, drama, all of that kind of thing. So we live in that every day, and it's incredibly dense. The energy is very draining, it's self-absorbed, and it can really bring a person down pretty quickly. So we're confronted with 3D all the time. But now I mainly watch cooking shows, or just listen to music or something, because that drama can really get under our skin and bring our energies down. The fourth dimension then is a higher vibration, so it's a higher level of consciousness, becoming. It's the dimension of becoming, and it's about becoming more aware of the impact that we have on the planet and on each other, and that we are all connected, and that our thoughts and actions affect other people and can actually come back to bite us as well. So it's about starting to see beyond our own world and to take notice of what's happening in the world and start to be more proactive in how we can make a positive impact on the world. The fifth dimension is about oneness. It's about knowing that we are all one. So the third dimension then teaches separatism. And so most religions, doctrine, societal beliefs teach us that we're separate from each other, and that God is all mighty and all empowering, whereas the fifth dimension and the seventh plane of existence teaches us that we're all one, and that we're all co-creators, and that we create our own realities with every thought, word and deed, and that our connection can bring us together, or it can tear us apart. So they're the dimensions. And the most powerful dimension is the fifth dimension, because that's unconditional love. But the third dimension is also very powerful, because it's all consuming and so negative that we can get dragged into it very quickly. If you do have any questions, please do type them as I go, because I don't want to leave you behind where you're thinking, I really don't understand what she was talking about. So, but it is really important to know that we can be moving across these dimensions just with our thoughts. So everything has a vibration of light, and every thought goes out and creates our own reality and can affect other people. And so if we're talking about vibrations and dimensions, then you can just consider, if you say, I love you, and the vibration of that, as opposed to I hate you. And we can be thinking, I really love that flower, but oh gee, look at me, I look terrible today. And so we've gone from the fourth dimension to the third dimension really quickly, just in less than 30 seconds. So it's all consciousness. Everything is consciousness, and we need to be in control of it. We definitely need to be in control of it. So the planes of existence then are described by Vianna Stibel in her books, Theta Healing. This is Advanced Theta Healing. But it definitely has made the most sense to me, and it's what I use. But other people talk, Archangel Michael in his teachings through Ronna V. Zane talks about dimensions. So whatever works, as long as you're understanding you know, what we mean when we talk about the planes or the dimensions. So the first plane of existence are crystals. They're the earth, they're rocks, they're organic, non-living matter. And we, if we're using crystals or we're using the first plane of existence, they're minerals as well. So if we need to take calcium or magnesium, then we're also using the first plane of existence. The second plane of existence are the plants and vitamins. So if you're a herbalist or you're taking vitamins, you're using or you're in the garden, you're using the second plane of existence. The third plane is carbon-based and protein, so that's earth. So the animal kingdom, humans, physical body. So when we talk about the third plane of existence, the plane is the physical manifestation of life. The fourth plane is the spirit world. So it's where we go once we die. And so ghosts then are caught between the third and the fourth plane, where they haven't quite passed over, and so they still have some kind of essence to them. And spirits, once they've passed over, they leave the physical form behind, still have the same essence of their personality, still do everything that we've done when we were alive. So if you've walked into a haunted house and smelt toast burning and heard rattling around, but there's no one there, then that's the spirit world. So my grandfather came in and I couldn't see him, but I could smell smoke and no one else could. And I'm sure you could understand it was quite kind of puzzling for a while, and then it was just really frustrating because I didn't really know how to contact him. But he virtually died smoking, and so and then when I did start to get messages from him, he talked about salary sacrificing. Well, he was a chartered accountant, so he still had all the elements of power, but was just in a higher vibratory form. So as you can imagine, the different dimensions and levels of the spirit world are staggering. If you're beautiful in life, you'll be beautiful in death. If you're nasty in life, you'll be nasty in death. And so if you're enlightened, you'll go to a higher level in the fourth plane than if you're unenlightened. If you've actually lost your way and actually not learned your lessons and committed murder or done something that's strayed you from your path, then you're going to go to a different level. You'll still receive loving healing, you'll still receive all the help that is available, but if humans die a violent death or take their own life for whatever the reason, they can kind of be in a prison of their own making until they're ready to move forward. So just the levels of the spirit world are really staggering, and it's not a place to go without protection, because if you're just contacting the spirit world and you don't know who you're talking to, goodness knows who you're talking to and where they've come from and which level they are and what their vibrations are and what their intentions are, and because it's still one of ego and self-service. So I'll talk more about it, but also shamanism comes from the fourth plane, and it is to be treated with caution. So the fifth plane has two definite levels to it. The lower fifth plane is the fourth, are the fallen angels, and the lower, it's an extension of the fourth plane. So I've never been there and I never intend to. So it's always holding the intention that you're connecting with the upper fifth plane, and that's where the temples of light are, where the archangels, the angels, the masters, the ascended masters, the angels' garden. So if there were ever a heaven, the upper fifth plane is it. And so it's a beautiful place to go. And so then the vibration is higher, so the information that you'll be getting will also be more reliable. However, the fifth plane is the ultimate in duality. So that's where good and bad comes from, dark and light, and it is separation. So it's also about sacrifice. So the masters will talk about greater good, and the greater good demands a sacrifice, some kind of a sacrifice of energy. Whereas in the energy of the creator of all that is, the seventh plane, there is no sacrifice. And so it still involves a big trade of energy. And when healing with this plane, if you know who you're talking to, then you can at least hold the intention that they are giving you the information or helping you with healing for your highest and best, and in the highest and best way, and that way you won't be sacrificing any energy. So the sixth plane then is the laws of the universe, and also the Akashic records. And the laws are living kind of like they're moving consciousness, really. And even though most people on earth are unaware of the spiritual laws, we're all bound by them. And if you were to access them in the Akashic records, they'd be absolute dust breakers. And you can move through the sixth plane and see all the laws, but they're actually, they can really mess with your mind. So again, it's a place to go once you've got protection through the seventh plane. The seventh plane is the creator of all that is. Now, yes, we're talking about God here, but there's no religion. It's the highest form of consciousness, which is unconditional love and light. So when I'm there, I just see an essence of light. There are no people, there are no colours, but it's an absolute feeling of bliss and just being. So it's the ultimate state of just being. So love isn't even a state, love just is. And that's what the universe revolves around. And my third book actually says on the front, the underlying force behind the creation of the universe is love. That is all there ever has been and all there ever will be. So everything is formed on unconditional love. And we're ethereal beings having a human experience. So we come from the light, which is unconditional love. We go back to the light, which is unconditional love. And we come in with lessons to learn and a spiritual purpose or a higher purpose for being here. And when we're born, thud, we're in the third dimension. And it's a hard gig. It's a hard gig being on earth and trying to maintain our consciousness and our connection to our ethereal form and to the Creator's unconditional love. And if we lose that connection, then we lose our way, and it's really tough. So a client just recently just asked if her daughter's having a baby soon and if the newborn would need any healing. And with permission that I had, I tuned in and was told that the baby would be physically fine, but that he or she would need some assistance and some healing in helping them to feel to restore their connection, their sense of connection, because birth is the ultimate in separation, isn't it? You come out of the womb and it's all warm and safe in there, and suddenly you're just all lights and sound and people and I've had 2 clients who can remember the time of their birth and the heart-wrenching separation they felt. It's pretty mind-boggling. And so sometimes we can actually start to feel separated from the unconditional love of Source, which, if you can think of the planes of existence, are just concentric circles, and the unconditional love of the Creator is all-encompassing. But if we lose that connection, then we just start to get dragged down into the lower vibrations of the other planes, and it can be a lot harder, and that's how we can lose our way. We've all been there, you know, and we've all lived lives of persecution and through religion and being burned at the stake and all that ultimate kind of sacrifice. But in this lifetime, I'm finding most people are actually resolving all their karma and coming face to face with the past that's been dragging them down, and having the chance to release all of that so that they can start to raise their consciousness and actually come back into their light body, their ethereal body, and begin to be living, breathing masters on earth. And that's really amazingly exciting, and something that Archangel Michael's working actively through a lot of people, including me. He's the one that I connected to after Pa came in and yes, it only took me 51 years, Tony, actually, to accept myself and call myself Victoria and not Vicky, so much to my parents' delight. So well done, Tony, you're 52. I'm 58 now, so I came into this work when I was 48. And apparently you're a wise woman when you're 53, so you're nearly there, Tony. But yes, it's about shedding the fear, which in 3D, third dimension with the media and everything, you know, it's all about ruling by fear and keeping the masses contained, so that those who have control can keep control. But I'm not going to talk about that tonight so much. So therefore, I just want to go back to talking about what happens then if people call in spirits or use tarot cards or use a Ouija board. They should all be burned. Never use a Ouija board. Or use Reiki, or use the pendulum, or any of those psychic tools, or just call on the four winds of direction, or anything like that. They're actually tapping into the spirit world, or the fourth plane of existence, and they're called shamans. And it's a really can be very powerful healing. But remember, we're all beings of energy. We all emit energy and we all absorb energy. So everything on the earth is energy. Money is energy, light is energy, thoughts are energy, body language is energy, food is energy. Everything is energy, and we all exchange energy. And so the thing about the fourth plane and the spirit world exchange of energy is that it's very draining, and it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. There are lots of vows and commitments to say that the healer can't heal themselves, that they have to go through a little death to be close to God, that they have to give up their senses. And so I've just recently met someone who was attuned to Reiki, but as soon as she lost all the hearing in one ear. That to me is the ultimate in fourth plane vow or commitment that I need to sacrifice something in order to get something else. And it's just, you know, I just have finally met someone that's actually happened to just recently. And so if we're not protected from that, then, you know, if you're doing Reiki or you're actually trying to heal someone, then you can actually take on that person's sickness. Or you can become so drained that you're wiped out for days. So the best way to get around that is to connect to the 7th plane. Now, you can use crystals. A lot of people use crystals, or they use essential oils or anything like that, but they all come from the 1st or the 2nd plane of existence, which also has vows and commitments that pertain or, you know, equate to a trading or sacrificing of energy. And I do know someone who actually went to give her heart to her then boyfriend, and actually did a little ritual and trapped it in a crystal and gave it to him, and then wondered why the whole relationship went speedily downhill from there. And when she came to me for a healing, I discovered that she'd actually interacted, she'd used crystals and interacted with the 6th plane, and essentially made herself subservient to him. And so it was something that I had to kind of dive for my book on, but it's incredibly dangerous. And so we can use crystals to protect us, but then we're actually using something else that could actually trap our energy as well. So the 5th plane, or the upper 5th plane of the angelic realm, then, knowledge is power. This is why I'm sharing it. I mean, it's no good me having this knowledge, which I've developed over the last 10 years through courses, but also through reading, and, you know, I use other wonderful channels, but also through working with Creator, who teaches me a lot. If I'm not sharing it, then what's the good of having it? And the whole idea is for you guys to start exploring it, and then to work on it more, and then we all become teachers, and so it ripples out, not just to you, but to the people that you love and work with, and then so on and so on. The angelic realm, or the upper 5th plane, also works on vows and commitments that work on a sacrifice of energy. And there are lots of people that I've had to do healings on who actually have had big commitments, like I carry the responsibility for healing the world on my shoulders, or I need to give away my power to be close to God, and all those kinds of things. Not forgetting that we've all been through lifetimes and lifetimes of religions, so we're all holding those ties to belief webs and nets and societal expectations about religion. And so if we haven't cleared those, then our soul has those memories. And so never ask for anything for the greater good. Never. Always ask for your highest and best, and for your greatest good, because the greater good is not always for your highest and best, you know. And the masters and the archangels are working for the greater good. They're here to save the planet. And there are many masters walking the earth now that has aspect of all the great masters in them. All masters like Jesus, Saint Germain, Mary Magdalene, all of them have 144, up to 144 aspects of themselves walking the planet at any given time. So they're reincarnating in droves, and just about all babies born now are little masters. So Sarah, look into Nevaeh's eyes and see if you can see the cosmos in there, because she'll be, you know, a little master for sure. And they're all coming in to save the planet, and but, you know, it's a hard gig, and they come in to really harsh realities and food that's just not good for them. You know, there's just so much. So most of them will have allergies or some kind of, you know, even autism or any of those things, to try and help them cope with, wow, if your daughter got cancer at 8 months old, I'd be wondering about past life stuff, and that's something that we could chat about later. And if you would like to talk to me at another time and have a session, that, you know, hopefully she's got over that, I really do. But children that bring things like that in, I really do wonder about past life stuff, but also the sensitivities that they bring in, because they're little beings that know only love. And then they come into bullying and all sorts of, sometimes parents that aren't as loving as they could be. But we choose our parents, we choose our lessons, and we choose our families for those lessons. Sometimes we come in with disabilities, because that's a lesson. So some, you know, it's a whole big minefield. Sometimes there's karmic stuff. It's a whole big minefield. That's another session, perhaps, Sarah, again, you know, about soul families and the things we choose and why people, you know, commit suicide. Sometimes it's just the end of their lives. Sometimes it's just the end of their life contract. There's just, sometimes it's karma and they're repaying someone who did something to them before. Oh, it's really, really complicated. But getting back to the greater good is definitely not something to ask for. And because the masters are working for that, and so they will, it's like, I can liken it to an ant colony. So the queen is the sole reason that the whole hive exists. And if the hive is attacked, then thousands of ants will stream out and sacrifice their lives to save the hive and the queen. That is the greater good. And we don't have to live like that, okay? We can make sure that we are helping the planet, we're helping other people, but not having to sacrifice our energy for it. We can do it for our own highest and best as well. And we don't need to sacrifice money or time or, you know, or to live like nuns just because we have a gift. We're all one, so we're all deserving, you know. Goodness, not even Creator can intervene unless we give permission, you know, because of the law of non-intervention and the law of free will. So free will, exactly. And so we're all one and we're all connected. We're all one and the same. We're all the same. We're literally gods ourselves. And that's that consciousness. God, to me, is consciousness. It's the highest consciousness of creation. And when we create in the energy of love and tolerance and, yes, the greater good, but not in the energy of sacrifice, then only good things can come out of it. So connecting to the seventh plane then is the best way, the only way really, to protect yourself from trading those energies and from actually sacrificing energy or sacrificing a sense or coming unstuck. And it's as Vienna teaches a way of connecting to the seventh plane, but I've been working for a couple of years now on helping people to connect in all sorts of different ways, because what one person can do, another person finds difficult. We all have different clairs too, so some people can be clairvoyant and actually see. So to me, clairvoyance is I see everything in meditation. I'll just sit up and I'll be able to look with my third eye and see everything. With my third eye, I don't see much. But not everybody can do that. Some people can hear. That clairaudience is you might hear a clang, or you might get voices, or you might just get a thought, like channeling. But not everybody can do that. So a lot of people are clairsentient, so they just get a feeling. And some people are claircognizant, where they'll just suddenly know stuff, and that's part of premonitions and things like that as well. So we all have different gifts, and not everybody sees the seventh plane when I take them there, but I have to say to you that with intention it will be. So everything is with intention. And if you intend that you're there, if you intend that you're going to meet your archangel, if you intend that you're going to have a better life, then with intent it will be. And so as we're co-creators, we don't need to ask. We just intend. Okay, we hold the intention and then it will be. We hold the intention that we're in the seventh plane of existence, so it is. Okay, but I do want to take you all there tonight, because this is the best way that you can protect yourself every day from trading energies. It's not just when you're trying to be a healer being a healer or doing work, but if you're a hairdresser or you're a teacher or you're in, working with a lot in the tax office, or, in working amongst people all the time, there's cacophony of kind of energies flying around, and there's all this trading going on. So grounding and connecting to the light of the Creator is the best way. Now, before I take you there, I just want to tell you that the easiest way probably is to just see light in your heart space and to expand it around you, because our light is the Creator's light. So, you know, we're one and the same. But grounding is always a really great idea. When you ground, then you can take your consciousness out, but your physical body is grounded, so you've always got that to come back to, and it's a really important thing to do. And I could be at a psychic fair and see 15 people in a day or whatever, but every client I've grounded, I've connected to Creator, and then I've broken my energy afterwards. I bring in the 4 archangels of direction as well, and that's Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael, and make sure that they're cleansing my space all the time. And I'm always zipping my aura up and protecting myself. So that's a good way. Another way is just to bring your light all the way up above your crown, and then if you can see all the chakras going up to the Creator, then you can either take yourself up to Creator's light, or you can bring him down to you. Today we're just going to sit in our heart space and expand it out. So it's already 3/4 of an hour. Goodness, that goes quickly. I've probably been talking maybe half an hour. I was going to try and help you to contact your Archangel guide as well. So because not everybody can see, I have worked through the week to channel a meditation where you can actually at least get the colour and the tone of your angel, and then work out who it is from there. But we'll see how far we get. So I am first of all just going to take you through a very quick grounding and connection to the 7th plane, and then we'll see where we get to from there. Okay, so just a straight back is always a great idea, because then you get your connection. And Sarah just sat up straight away. That's so funny. After she put herself together, I think she just fed the baby. So anyway, so and I always just like to teach people to take 3 breaths in and out, and just feel yourself in the space. So very quickly, we operate pretty much from our heart chakra up. We're in our head all the time, and we can become very, very grounded and not in our present body and not in the present. And so to actually breathe our energy down and be present in our full body is a really important thing to do. All right, so 2 more breaths. And just feeling yourself in the chair, in the space, hearing the sounds around you. Don't need to block them out. And just releasing tension in your body. I'm going to need a couple more breaths actually. And as you're breathing in and out, you just start to imagine a beautiful ball of light gathering in your heart space. A beautiful pearlescent white ball of light, which is your light, but it's also the energy of the Creator, because we're all one. Breathing in and out, and on every out breath it just grows bigger and bigger, and you grow more relaxed. Now we're going to take a breath in, and on that breath out we're going to push that ball of light all the way down through our chakras, through our legs and into the ground. Ready? Pushing, and really push your energy down. Feel that energy pushing down all the way through your chakras, your legs, and down through your feet as 2 beautiful beams of light down into Mother Earth. And see or feel or imagine little light roots coming out and just anchoring you there, so your physical body is safe and protected while your consciousness is out of your body. Take a few breaths in and out, and just feeling yourself anchored there. And then using the breath, breathe in and bring that energy to your knees. Nice and slow, no rush to it. Breathe in and bring the energy to your hips. And then concentrate the energy into your chakras, back up to your heart space, but we need to connect them all. So we'll go all the way up to our crown now, all the way till it's up above your crown. Now, some of you might be able to see the ball of energy rotating slowly above your crown, but remember, with intent it is. So just intend or know, imagine, fake it till you make it. So imagine that it's there. And then on the next out breath, breathe it back to your heart space. Just gently. Now, if you're able to, while you're breathing in and out, and try and get it now to 4 breaths in and 4 breaths out. 4 counts, I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in and out, and the energy expands. Breathe in and out, and the energy expands vertically. Breathe in, breathe out, and the light is all around you. And you're literally in the 7th plane of existence. And we hold the intention that we're in the 7th plane of existence, which is the unconditional love of the Creator, and a protection from trading energies in the other planes of existence. Just taking a few breaths in and out. There are no people, there's only light and unconditional love. So in this energy, this is the ultimate energy for creation or manifestation. So you need to watch your thoughts and be positive, because what you create will affect you sooner rather than later. So always be really positive in the 7th plane, but we hold the intention now that we're protected from all lower energies, and just it's a beautiful place to just sit and be. If you can see it, it's just like a beautiful essence, and you can just imagine your body just melding into it. Some people lose all sense of them being in the chair. You should feel a bit of a change, and it's for the first time it can be pretty strong, so we won't stay here too long. But we're going to connect now to your guardian angel, which will hopefully be an archangel. It'll be different for everybody. And so the first thing I was told was to actually emit a tone. So to be holding the intention, you don't need to ask, holding the intention that we're connecting with, or that you are connecting with, the predominant archangel that is your guardian and guide, in the highest and best way and for your highest and best. And we hold the intention that they're with you and that you will know that they're there. Now, if you can see them, that's awesome, but if you can't, we're holding the intention that now each person here on the Zoom call will be given the particular tone that is the frequency of their archangel or angelic guide. When you ask for that tone, then all you need to do is open your mouth and let it out. And if we're all together, it'd be a bit of a sound, I would say. So you can do it in your head if you're a bit shy, but otherwise I'm just going to tone. Okay, so. So with the law of three or the power of three, we do it 3 times. And then we hold the intention that we see or know the colour of the ray of our angelic or archangelic guide. I know my archangel guide is Archangel Michael, so his colour is blue. But I did channel a way to do that. So feeling the energy change, and tone again if you feel the need to, and still your mind and sit in the energy of your angelic guide, knowing that you have called them in and that they are definitely with you. And then you can ask them who they are and automatically write it down, or just still your mind and get the name or the colour, or you can muscle test. So muscle testing is where you, the best way, well, there are a couple of ways. You can stand up, and when you say yes, your body goes forward. When you say no, your body goes back. You can use a pendulum and get your yes or no, or you can use your fingers in a circle, and when you say yes, you can hold them together, and when you say no, you can break them. So the archangel of the 7th ray is the overarching ray for all the rays, and that's Archangel Zadkiel. Now the rays don't necessarily relate to the chakras. They actually don't. They relate to the rays and to the archangels. So if you have Zadkiel or the 7th ray with you, Zadkiel and Holy Amethyst, muscle test, and if your fingers stay together or you fall forward or your pendulum does a yes, that's who is with you. If you get a no, then they're not. So the first ray is the ray of Archangel Michael and Lady Faith and the Ascended Master of Elmira. So if you have the first ray with you or Archangel Michael, test for that. Remember, hold it. If you say, try to say, my archangel is Archangel Michael, mine is, so I'm getting a definite yes there. But if you can break it, that's a no. How'd you go, Sarah? Yep. Okay, the second ray is Archangel Jophiel and Lady Constance, and the Ascended Master is Katumi, and the colour is yellow. So, yes or no? The third ray is Archangel Camille and Lady Charity, and the Ascended Master is Serapis Bey, and the colour is pink. So muscle testing. The fourth ray is the white ray, Archangel Gabriel and Lady Hope, and the Ascended Master is Paul the Venetian. I can see Sarah, she's cracking me up. Sorry. The fifth ray is the green ray, Archangel Raphael and Lady Mary. It's also Mother Mary. And the Ascended Master is Hilarion. The sixth ray is Uriel and Lady Grace, and the Ascended Masters are Sandar and Nada. And the seventh ray, of course, is Zakiel, Lady Amethyst, and the Master is Saint Germain. And they're the keeper of the violet flame as well, the keepers of the violet flame. So if you've muscle tested for a colour, Uriel to me is red. This colour is red. So once you know the Archangel with you and the colour, surround yourself in that colour. Breathe it around you. Thank your guides for being with you. And just sit in the stillness of their energy for a moment. And just allow any thoughts, words, feelings to come, and just know you're in the energy of the seventh plane, so you're protected and it will be accurate. I'm holding the energy for you all. And we ask your Archangel guide to stay present, and you can remain in the energy of the seventh plane as we count backwards from 10 to 1, and you'll gradually just feel yourself grounding and becoming more present in your body as we count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can open your eyes. And that is the end of my presentation, Sarah.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that. That was amazing. Alrighty, so if anybody has any questions, now is the time to let me know, and then I'll read them out. Or you can see the questions anyway.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
If you like, I can read them out. Tony, I know you'll have a question. If not, I do have some questions from some that were emailed.
Yes, actually, I don't. Well, before we start questions, maybe if anybody's got feedback about it was very much where I'm at right now, that's fantastic. If anyone's got any feedback about the meditation or how it worked for them, or that would be really great, because it's the first time I've actually done it with anybody. I channeled it for this presentation, so I'd love any feedback. Yeah.
Okay,
not, that's fine.
So I've got Greg next to me, and he's like, ask my question. So
okay, Greg.
I should get him on, and he can ask the question.
Yeah, what does he look like?
Come on, you can ask him the question. No one asked him to you. You can ask him. There he is.
Hi, Greg.
So
Great to meet
you. The meditation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to provide some feedback that
okay.
during the meditation I had in my left eye the blue ray, and I found that that was very, very noticeable when you said who it was.
Oh, wow. fantastic. So I can actually tell you that before I met Archangel Michael, I would be reading and I'd be getting flashes of blue on my glasses, and I had no idea what it was. And accustomed to having the odd strange thing happen, I kind of didn't think much about it. But now quite often I'll just get all these blue spots in front of me, and I just know he's there all the time. So that's wonderful to know that. So yeah, thank you for that feedback. That's really excellent. So and so seeing is not always with the third eye, you know, it's just you just kind of it sees. And quite often I'll be asleep or I'll be awake or I'll have my eyes closed, but I'll get this bright flash of light, and I know that's Creator wanting to tell me something. Quite often I'm like not in a state to receive that information right then, but yeah, so that's really wonderful. Thank you, Greg.
Well, another confirmation is I usually also have what do you call it, the truth bumps. So I also had the second, yeah, I had secondary truth bumps as well. So the presence.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So you're calling.
That's fantastic.
Perfect.
Well, I have a couple of friends, you know, I'll actually sometimes check things with them, and if one gets goosebumps, one gets shivers, I'll know that that's right. So I absolutely trust your truth bumps, because that is confirmation that you've actually, well, that you've actually received the right information. So that's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, you're too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, out the way now.
Yeah.
Questions. I can see Claire's written a question. Okay. Do you see me? Oh, you're answering anything, aren't you? Just any question?
I'll answer it.
Yeah. Do you see me traveling on the career path of spirituality? And I find meditation hard to see. Is there something I can focus on to help or assist?
Okay, so the meditation one I will answer first. So meditation is predominantly about clearing the mind and just learning to be and recentering yourself and gathering your energy and just actually just bringing yourself all back together. Because, you know, I talked about we trade energy and everything, that we can just leave fragments of ourselves around all over the place, particularly if we've been rushing everywhere and our mind's in 1,000 places and whatever. So it is about stopping and just being present in the body, because quite often we're not present, you know, we're driving, but our mind's a million miles away, and then we can't remember if we turned off or not, or, you know, so it's about bringing ourselves back into the present and just being. So if you find that difficult, and stilling the mind is a really difficult thing, to me meditation is as easy as staring at the sea, or just vegging but not thinking about anything. But the breath, using the breath is the best way to really train yourself to just still the mind, and just, as long as you're focusing on the breath, and you can bring some light in or something like that. But a lot of people find guided meditations good. I guess I could do a shameless plug, couldn't I? And just say, I'm using it to prop up my thing. But actually, I can't move it. But I have on my website, I have got for sale, I met a fellow who captures light spectrums. His name's Gary Martin. And so he literally has a little studio, and he shines light into crystals and glasses of water and captures these moving lights. And so we put them to music, and I did some kind of channelings over the top, and it's called Light Source Meditation DVD. And a couple of people I know who have it say they find that really helpful. Some people find the lights really distracting, so it's just up to you, and that's why guided meditations can be good at first, but it's something that I'm doing more and more of, is guiding people in meditation. And yeah, but use the breath and just build up stamina, you know, so just maybe do 1 minute, or maybe try 3 minutes and then 4 minutes, and, you know, just until it's not about sitting on a rock in the lotus position and umming and, you know, I use meditation to connect to my guides, and I see, and they take me on journeys or whatever, but really it just depends on the purpose of why you're meditating, and generally it's just about maintaining that balance and getting your body back into balance. So as far as you traveling, so you mean traveling overseas or traveling with your spiritual work? Can you just clarify that, please, Claire?
Yeah. I think it's traveling on the career path of spirituality.
Okay. So tuning into you.
Yeah, it's where do you see her going career-wise?
I feel like you've got a pretty busy life at the moment, and the Masters and Creator will always say it's up to you, but your path seems fairly murky at the moment, so it is about having that clear intention of just really working out what you want, because the universe can't kind of work on muddled messages. So if you have a passion and you have a purpose for doing it, then I would be really putting some more energy into that, and to actually creating the intention of how you want to do that, and then the path will become a lot clearer. So as to whether it's your probable path or not, you have quite a few options. I see that is if you chose that, yes, but there are a couple of other paths. It's kind of like you'll have to make a choice at some stage. But I just know that I've had to choose this and actually resign from teaching, and, you know, until I did that, this was never going to go any more than just a hobby. So Claire, set your intentions, really work on the gifts that you have, because we start off with gifts, and then you know, we all have a main Claire, so if you can see a little bit, work on that first, and then more will come. So I see everything in meditation, but now, and I've been able to body scan people for a while, and I don't do that, so I've got permission, but now I seem to be able to read auras, and this is nothing that's been taught to me. It's just a gift that's come in. And the other day a girl came and she told me nothing, and I literally saw a hand on her heart, and I said, you've had a breakup, but he's still got a hold on your heart. And she said, that's absolutely 100% correct. So that gift has developed just by me working on my other ones. So really set your intentions, and your priorities, prioritize what you need to give energy to and what can be for a while. Hopefully that's helpful.
Great, thank you. If there's anybody watching live in the Facebook group as well, just comment, because I can see those comments as well, so I can read them out. Jackie doesn't have a question, but this is great, so I'll read it out. I've found when I wake in the morning, I'm in bliss. It's a great time to meditate. Starting the day with gratitude, trying to stay away from worries to get the day started on a good foot, if you like. Yeah, that's perfect. That's good advice.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
It is great. If everybody started the day that way, that would, you know, be amazing. And I've just done, I'm working on my 4th book now, and I was just reading over a chapter that I'd written a while, and I'm doing a meditation for each chapter, and so I really hope to publish it this time. I don't know how to do that, but and the Masters just say that everything, you know, when we put out that positivity, we actually see it in the intensity of the sunrise and in the brightness of nature, and actually it actually reverberates in the weather and all that kind of stuff. So human emotion doesn't just affect other humans, it affects the weather, and it affects everything. It affects nature, it affects, yeah, everything. So you know, if you see an amazing rainbow or an amazing sunrise or sunset, it's because there's so many more people doing what you're doing, Jackie, and that's just such an important thing. So it's really great to hear that. And gratitude is everything, just being grateful, because when we're grateful for what we have, even if it's very small. No, my books aren't on audio, and actually that's something that I've been asked to do before. So, oh my gosh. Yes, thank you. But look, my books, I'm going to update my website, but if you would like my books, you know, I can do a deal on the books and they'll be cheaper from me, and I'll sign them for you. So just drop Sarah a message or me a message, and then we can do that. And I've lost my train of thought there. Sorry, I got distracted.
I was just about the.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tony, I don't know.
What was that?
I said, "Oh, Tony, I don't know," and she's laughing. It's usually me. Yeah, she likes to chat. It's all good.
But, I have a channelings blog too, victoriacochrane44.com, and I'm not putting them up as regularly because I'm kind of been busy doing other things, but the messages are generally all about people raising their vibrations, raising their consciousness, that love is the only answer, and loving yourself is the only answer. You know, the saviour of the world is everybody loving themselves, because we can't actually love anybody else if we don't love ourselves. And so all the people that bully other people or cause problems in the world literally feel pretty shitty about themselves, and so they just dump all this stuff on other people. And so if they worked on themselves, then that would radiate to the, you know, so with them not working on themselves affects the planet in a really negative way, and it affects the people around them, you know. So really the saviour of the world is self-love.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? Do you have a question, Tony? Oh, Tony was saying before too that the question that, and I was going to say something about this, the question that Claire asked also relates to her. And I find that anyway, you know, one person will ask a question and other people will be like, oh, that so resonates with me as well.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah,
so,
and people that rewatch it, and they'll probably find, oh, that was a question I would have asked as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Alrighty. So, well, I think that we might leave it there, and so there's a question. So I'll just run through a few other things. So I just want to firstly say thank you so much for joining us tonight, Victoria. It's been an absolute pleasure. For anybody that would be interested in booking Victoria has a free 15-minute chat that you can book with her, and then she can just get an idea if you wanted to go ahead and have a paid session with her after you have the free 15-minute chat. You can do that. If you'd like to do that, just email me at thespiritualityshow@gmail.com or text me on 0423 402 715 to book the free session, and I will arrange that for you with Victoria. I also want to thank Business Academy for Practitioners for sponsoring this event, and I did notice that Kelly is actually watching in the community page, so hello Kelly if you're still watching. She's the owner of the Business Academy for Practitioners, and that's it. So thank you so much everybody for joining us tonight. Please feel free to leave a review on the Spirituality Show or the Spiritual Events and Directory on Facebook if you enjoyed this presentation, and feel free to like, comment and share. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely...
Can I just say before you go that I do have a website of victoriacochrane.com, and I put out a monthly newsletter called Reaching Out Spiritual News. I know it's back to front, sorry. And I have a Facebook page of the same name. So if you would like my books, I'm selling 3 for $35 instead of $45. Just pop me a message and I can arrange that.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
That's all right. You're it is all on the slide at the start, but thank you so much for speaking that. All right, thanks, Victoria. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay.